I guess, with the whole cancel culture nowadays, do you think that we're gonna start seeing more edgy stuff now that we have Netflix and other outputs, or and that the media, the normal media that we would normally know as like TV and late night shows that are just talking bullshit? Do you think eventually we're just gonna have things be more real, like this type of podcast that we're doing, shit like that?
I hope so.
I think it's gonna get worse. Comedians can't even do comedy now because it's an offensive thing. So we cannot laugh about this. We cannot laugh about that.
Right. I would love to see a world where this political correctness stuff didn't go away, because I'm sure it has its place, in some places, but like it's just gone so far to where comedians are getting kicked off a stage, for making fun of someone in a wheelchair or a cancer patient, to where,
I mean, that's fucked up.
Oh, that's what comedy is, though. Comedy is supposed to put a smile on something that is so sad.
No.
If I didn't smile, I'd cry. To me, that's what comedy is. Being able to laugh at
you
something.
Like dark comedy.
Yeah, but I do like dark comedy.
I gotta
like
agree
Bill
with
Burr,
with Paul there. I think that if you are not into
what comedy's for.
Edgy sounds like corny, but
I mean, I laugh at it, but then I feel bad.
If you're not into that type of comedy, I think you want to listen to other comedy. But
don't watch it.
Yeah, but don't watch it. Exactly.
That's what I do.
I think people. I don't understand why people like to cancel shit. Sometimes I listen to comedy where I'm like, wow, you're just going with the trend. Like you just and I'm just like, whatever. You can do that. I don't care. Like when people like late night shows, you do like this always Trump jokes, which it's not that I care about the guy. It's just like it's just easy. It's like low hanging fruit. I don't want you to get canceled. If you want my personal opinion, I think you're gonna cancel yourself because it's shit content. But I don't understand people that are trying to like bring people down. Because he's being offensive. Like, do you understand? We're out here, or the people that are doing this, and myself when I'm doing this shit too. I'm trying to fucking be funny. Like I'm a good person. I love everybody. But understand that when you're trying to push that line to be funny, there's gonna be sometimes things that sound not as pretty, but it doesn't mean that that's who you are. You're just fucking around, and obviously there's that line between when you fuck around with your friends, right? The locker room that we were talking about, and then this. Sometimes I cross over there. That's an issue.
Right. I think just everything is put under a microscope today. Everything might have an ulterior motive for everybody. When I watch things from the 90s and things from the 80s and George Carlin, and I like to see comedy is something, when a cancer patient, a cancer patient is very sad. It's not that I don't like cancer patients. I feel for them. That's terrible. It's a terrible situation. But what better to do than make some kind of levity from it? Be able to put some kind of light in this dark thing. That's where I like to see comedy. I don't see it as, you watch Bill Burr? Love Bill Burr. I love F is for Family, the show. And I think part of the reason why I like him so much, his comedy is gold to me. But part of the reason why I like him so much is because he says these things that nobody else is really allowed to say right now. It's almost like he has a pass. He's on Netflix. Netflix won't let anybody else. Tom Segura, they almost removed him for
saying retarded.
Joke.
Yeah.
Retarded, that's what he said. He said the R word.
I'm not a fan, but he's like, to me, one of like the mildest ones.
Right, I agree. And I don't think Bill Burr would say the R word, although he has said some other things that even I'm like...
Well, I mean, we can go further with Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle. I think with Dave Chappelle...
Right.
I don't want to... bro. He says some things, man.
Today.
Especially today.
Yeah. He gives no fucks.
Yeah, especially like from what I've seen, his old stuff to today, I feel like he's removed all filters. I think he's gotten so sick of where things are, where he's like, fuck this shit. I see that stuff that I like to watch. Someone that's like, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care if this person's going to blog about me afterwards. I don't care. I'm going to say it, and you can try and cancel.
Yeah, I mean, he can do it because he has that power, right? Bill Burr has that power.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there are some of them. I think Louis C.K. has that power. Now he's coming back out of his, his situation, right? So well, he's a comedian. One of my favorite comedians.
Did he have like a sex
he jerked off in front of 2 chicks in a hotel, but he asked them. Huh?
They weren't minors.
Not minors. No, women.
They weren't minors.
He asked them, yeah.
And he asked them.
And then they were like saying that because he has power over them, they felt that if they didn't say yes, that he was gonna. So like that all turned out into a little Me Too. And he got all these deals taken away. And like at the end of the day, yeah, is the guy a bit creepy? Yeah, but is that like a sexual assault? I don't think so. Yeah. But
like Shia.
Like what?
Shia.
Shia LaBeouf. What happened with him?
What's his last name?
Shia LaBeouf.
One of his ex-girlfriends, I think, is having a similar.
Oh yeah, Sia, right?
Like something about
Sia. Oh yeah.
I don't know the story.
Well, that one I don't know what happened. So
I don't know.
I'm not sure with that one. But with the CK one, it was that situation where like the most that you could say is like, well, the guy's weird, but yeah.
It's creepy.
But I mean,
right? He's creepy. He definitely didn't rape anybody.
Yeah, but companies also have the right to not want to be associated with somebody.
Well, then we have the Johnny Depp situation.
Oh yeah, what about that situation? That's pretty fucked up.
It's fucked up.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Amber Heard made these false allegations that he beat her, he did all these things, when the evidence shows the contrary. She is on audio saying, yeah, he never hit me. I was the one hitting him. I was the one abusing him. Took it to court. The judge denied everything and said, no. Believe women. Amber Heard's right here. Case dropped. And Warner Bros. Said, sorry, Johnny. We know we see the evidence. It shows that you're innocent.
Like you when you got fired.
Same thing. But, with the judge approving this, or, we have to let you go. And Warner Bros. Fired him. Warner Bros. or Universal? It was Warner Bros. Fired him. Pirates of the Caribbean, gone. This other one.
No, the Animals one.
Not Harry Potter, but this. Yeah.
Whatever.
Gone. But luckily, Johnny Depp has people like me, who I can see through the bullshit. I can see through the PC garbage, the believe women, Me Too shit. And, bro, I'm logical. I look at the evidence. Fuck this bitch, man. Obviously she's wrong. If the evidence is there, bro, you're innocent until proven guilty. These crazy allegations, it might not have been convicted like Brett Kavanaugh. He was never convicted, but, she did say...
Yeah.
She did say what? I
think it's actually dangerous,
right,
and this is the same concept with everything we've talked about. Like The Boy Cried Wolf. It's dangerous when you call everything something, because then, like, what happens with actual rape victims? Like this is supposed to be left for those horrific acts, and then when you call everything that, like, if I was a rape victim, I'd be like, yo, bitch, shut the fuck up. You're not, like, somebody touched your leg. You haven't been assaulted. Like, don't think you're like me. I went through shit. Right? And I actually, if you were to ask me what to do with like sex offenders, I would kill them. Like that's the law that I have.
Castrate them.
Kill them.
Hang
right?
them.
So like I have no problem with like, I'm not defending them at all. As long as we're able to prove it. I'm just trying to, but on the same side, it's like, bro. I hate when people say, why would she lie? Well, why would anyone do anything wrong? I mean, why would anyone try to get a revenge on someone? Like, there's so many fucking reasons why anyone would do that. So, like, why would she lie?
Reasons,
well,
money.
I can tell you 1,000
Easy.
if you give me 5 minutes. Like, there's many reasons. Now, is it fucked up that it's a delicate situation where at times it's hard to prove it? Yes. But it does have to be that delicate of an investigation, because otherwise we're going to have a witch hunt, and this is actually going to hurt the ones that we're supposed to be protecting with all this.
Right. Just what you said. You said your opinion, sex offenders, we should kill them. Might want to make sure they're guilty before we kill an innocent person. Because that's what I think it is. Once you slap that label on someone, you're done. You're done. Your career, your social life, you're done. Let's make sure this is real, and especially because of all the false allegations in the past.
Well, there was one case I always bring up where was this kid at a college, and they were both drunk. They were like 18, 19, and then like in the very late morning, he texts her like, "Oh, let's chill." She's like, "Okay, cool, come over, bring the condom," and then they have sex. And the next day, she sort of like feels regret about having sex with this guy. Turns him in.
I shouldn't have done that.
They look at the text where she's like, "Yeah, come," but then they decide that because she was drunk, she couldn't have consented. Well, the boy was drunk too. So then right there, what you're saying is the woman is inferior and in the same conditions cannot make decisions as the men. So who the fuck is a sexist here? Because
they raped each other.
Like it's this double standard that I think is bad because
it's crazy.
So like, why when a woman is driving drunk, she wouldn't? I mean, she still gets DUI. They don't say like, "Oh, you're a woman, you weren't able to consent to driving, so no, you're gonna get your DUI, get your shit taken away, and pay fucking $15,000 and destroy your life."
You're a woman. You didn't know what you were doing.
I guess that's the same story with Aziz Ansari. The same thing happened to him. The footage shows them at a bar.
I didn't know about the footage, so actually tell me, but I did hear about it.
The footage, there's footage of him in the bar with the woman. The woman is all over him. They leave the bar together. They show footage in the lobby of his building. She's dragging him by the arm to the elevator. In the morning, they show her leaving, like fixing herself with a little pep in her step. 2 days later, she goes, "Shit, I should have never done that. He sexually assaulted. He raped me." And he was under fire. They slapped the label on him, but luckily that footage saved him.
Was that the one with
that
the
footage
text?
never surfaced. It wasn't a text.
No,
there might have been text as well, but what saved him was the footage.
Some text where she was like, "Oh, I didn't think what happened yesterday was good, cool, some shit like that." Maybe. And pretty much
I think so.
She's like, "Why did you think that I wanted to do this?" And he's like, "Well, we were both naked, like blowing each other. I thought like that's where it was going to."
I think so.
And then like, when I heard you moaning, I thought, it meant
I think
like,
I remember reading that. You enjoyed it.
You're enjoying this,
and
right?
then you know what was the most fucked up part? And I do understand him being this nice guy, why he took that route. Like he did a special, which actually was surprisingly good. I've always liked him as a comedian, but I thought he was gonna be a little more woke.
I've never seen him
actually
stand
pretty good, and he used to be better when he was less woke. But I'm not saying he's woke. I mean, I'm putting a label on it, but he's more careful because he's more famous, So on his last special, he actually opened, explaining the whole situation and apologizing and all of this, and it felt like now you're telling them you were being a creep, like
once you apologize, you just admitted guilt.
I think you could say, look, for people that go through certain situations, I'm sorry if this made you feel a certain way about it, but I'll be honest with you, I did not do anything wrong. I did not do anything that the other person didn't want. My only thing being guilty is of having a one-night stand with a chick that wanted to be with me. I don't know. I think there was a better way of wording it where you still look like a gentleman,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, like, go out there and be like, yo, this bitch, fuck her. No, like, you can be a gentleman, but still be like, hey, I have integrity. I know who I am type shit. But yeah, man, those things are very, there's a comedian I like, Chris D'Elia, and he I don't even know what happened with him because he just disappeared, and there's no evidence of it. It seems like he was talking to some underage girls on Twitter, but they never really met, which to me is like if you're 40 and you're talking to a 17-year-old, like, dude, like, step your game up, you got money, like, go get women. But is that rape? No, it isn't. So, like, because it never met or whatever. No. So it's just like we're just getting anything. Like whatever happens out there, we're just grabbing it and we're like, fuck this. And I think eventually people don't understand that everyone's recorded, everyone has pictures, and eventually shit's gonna pop off. Like, did you notice recently, like Jimmy Kimmel, they popped off some blackface from like back in the day, and like Trudeau from Canada. It's like
90s.
Yeah, if you search, everyone has shit, So it's like I find it so dangerous for us to be in a society now where we're just witch hunting everybody, and hopefully there will be a correction.
We're looking for it now. Yeah, we're literally looking for it now. Like, it's not like we stumbled upon it. Like, we're like, we don't like Jimmy Kimmel. Let's look through all of his past. We're bound to find something so we can cancel him. You're literally looking
with the Jimmy Kimmel, I think
now.
people were like, people that were anti-woke were like, oh, you're woke? Well, look at this hypocrite.
Yes.
Which, I mean, doesn't help either.
Exactly, hypocrite.
I thought you were so woke.
But I guess you understand why the other side attacks too, because it's like, you want to be woke, but you did. So it's just like a battle of like, how about we just stop looking at each other's past and that's it. You know, like Kevin Hart went through some shit like that too.
We're all guilty.
And you know, it's just, do you think that we're making up problems because there are no problems? Meaning, our grandparents and parents like maybe went through like other crises or like World War, and there was shit to like actually worry about. And now things, I mean, obviously we have a situation going on now that is very harsh, but in general, the world is so much better today than ever that it seems like people just want to look for something to like get their, you know, feathers up or.
Yeah, I think there's people out there that think it's more racist today than in the 60s. You know, there are some people who, I agree with you, they want to, maybe they watched Forrest Gump too many times and they want to be, you know, a part of it or something, and they just need to maybe make something so they can fight against it because it ain't there. You know, who knows? But I will agree that, you know, life, our parents and grandparents had it much harder than we do. You know, today's ain't so bad, man. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of issues that we still have. I think racism is still out there. I think there are transphobic people out there. I think there are sexist people out there. I think it's an issue. But is it like the biggest issue to date? No. Can we not like get on with our lives because of it and be successful? Absolutely not. I think everybody has an opportunity, you know, whether they see it or not, to make something of themselves. And to slap a label on it and say, I'm not doing it because my boss is sexist and, you know, my teacher is homophobic, and putting yourself in this box to be a victim, I think once you do that, you're done. You know, you now have that mentality of being a victim, and I don't see a lot of people who are victims make it to the top, unless you're already there, like a Jussie Smollett, for instance. You know, he was talented. He got to where he was because of talent, but he wanted to get further. So did that, and all it did was push him back.
Look like a dumbass.